Hi, this is Akron Beacon Journal Browns beat writer Nate Ulriich with Cannon Repository Browns beat writer Steve Doerschuk, Beacon Journal columnist Marla Ridenour. We're here at First Energy Stadium where the Browns lost 43-13 to the Tennessee Titans in the season opener. Not exactly what any of us was expecting. So we're going to do a quick 3 and out. Steve, do you want to start us out with your first down, so to speak?
Yeah, Nate, the offensive line today was a big issue for the Browns, and we were wondering if it was going to be, simply based on the fact that Eric Kush was unproven at right guard, and the coaches seemed not to like him, and the general manager seemed not to like him well enough, and they were looking for other right guards coming into this game. But then late in the first half, Greg Robinson at the key position of left tackle gets kicked out of the game because he kicks a guy in the helmet. But that obviously caused some huge problems. I think the problems had already begun to rear their ugly heads before that happened, because the game had gotten away from the Browns at that point, and the offense was in a long stretch of ineffectiveness. So what they did after that ironically resulted in a long touchdown drive. They had to make a double move where Hubbard went from right tackle to left tackle, and then they brought in a new right tackle and had to function that way. And that's a recipe for disaster. Somehow they milked a touchdown drive out of that. But the offensive line was a problem. But the problems began, in my opinion, well before all the hell broke loose with Robinson getting kicked out of the game.
Marla, we know that they had 18 penalties. I think it tied for second most in franchise history. I mean, it was just stunning that, you can have this ultra talented roster, but when you do that, you're probably not going to win no matter who you are, and that's what we saw today. So, what do you think that what happened there with Freddie and just the total meltdown in that way?
Well, 18 for 182. I mean, that's mind blowing. I mean, part of me wonders if Freddie's emphasized toughness in camp, but the discipline part of it kind of slid by the wayside. I mean, maybe some of it was Titans kind of baiting them into a few things, and they kind of got sucked into it. I mean, and I'd say a lack of attention to detail. I mean, it was sloppy. It was I'm not blaming the hype or anything for it. I'm just blaming their lack of attention to the little things. I mean, I can't put it all on Freddie. It was almost like once it started, and it was guys like Myles Garrett and Sheldon Richardson. I mean, it was guys you think you're counting on. So That's the stunning part. I mean, it would be different if you had newcomers in there making a lot of penalties. But, I mean, obviously I'm going to blame Freddie, but I also have to blame the players for, just what looked like a total meltdown of emotion.
Yeah, and the penalties are a huge storyline. The offensive line is too. One play in particular stood out to me. After all that sloppiness had the Browns, looking horrible all day, they still cut the Titans' lead to 15-13 late in the third quarter. But right after they did that, the defense got caught snoozing. Derrick Henry scores a 75-yard touchdown on a screen pass from Marcus Mariota, and that really just seemed like it took the wind out of the sails. And, the Browns didn't come back and respond the right way, and from there it just snowballed. Baker Mayfield with 3 interceptions in the fourth quarter. The Titans scored off all of them. One of them was a pick six. And it got really ugly at the end with the Titans just teeing off on Mayfield. He walked out of here with a little bit of a wrap or, some kind of glove-like apparatus on his right hand. He said he'll be fine, but, that's not what you want to see. Ugly loss, your franchise quarterback walking away like that. He said everybody's going to throw us in the trash, and he thinks that's good. Freddie says he's glad adversity hit early, and they're going to find out what they really are as a team now. And I'm really curious to see how they respond. They've got a long week coming up, a longer work week than usual to prepare for the Jets because they're going to be on Monday Night Football in week 2. So we're going to find out, and the lights are going to be shining, and everybody's going to be talking about it. Are the Browns just a disaster, or are they really going to be good the way they should be when you look at the talent on paper? So I think that's all that we got for you.
One question. Overreaction? Are you expecting overreaction on a Monday morning now?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'll let you guys answer it real quick if you want, but 43-13, all the anticipation, all the excitement leading up to this, people were treating this like Christmas morning. They got a lump of coal. I mean, it was pretty bad. It's only one game, so you have to keep it in perspective, but the way they lost was so ugly that you're going to have people doubting them.
I don't think people are necessarily going to overreact after they sleep on this, but it really was as bad as it looked. This is one, I've seen all the openers, cover all of them in the expansion era now. This was as bad as any of them in its way. One thing that's going to stick in my mind is how Mike Vrabel, a Browns fan from when he was growing up, and a really smart guy with a lot of defensive experience, but how Mike Vrabel, frankly, really outcoached Freddie. At the end of the game, when the Browns and the Titans were coming in their tunnels, the Titans came in this way. Mike Vrabel didn't go in the locker room. He stood outside and he personally shook the hand of every Titan who passed him by. And this was really pleasing to him, and it meant a lot to him. And well, it would have meant a lot to Freddie, but Freddie just wasn't ready.
I do think there's going to be overreaction. I think that's inevitable. I really do. But I mean, they've got the weapons to bounce back. And I think this long week is a good work week because they've got so much to straighten out, offensive line issues to straighten out. But I'm with you. It's probably I compared it to like Game 5 of the 2016 World Series when you're all ready. Indians are up 3-1 and you're ready for a championship, and then it's a dud. That's kind of, emotion-wise, the kind of letdown I think some of these people might be feeling.
And Greg Williams is waiting for the Browns. So, George, thanks for the question, by the way. That's our video guru, George Thomas. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.